Early one evening, Gordon pulled the express into Edward's station. It was his last train of the day, and while he was always fond of a fast run across the island, he was looking forward to a well-earned rest. As he stopped, he saw Edward at the other platform. A worried expression was drawn on his face. "Good evening, Edward," Gordon said. "Not feeling well?" "Oh, not at all," Edward replied. "I'm in good health, thank you. It's just—" He paused, then looked closely at the big engine. "Actually, while you're here, I was wondering if you could look into something for me. If you can, of course." "But of course, my dear engine. What is it?" "It's about Boco. Has he been staying at the mainline sheds lately?" "He was a few days ago," replied Gordon, "but not recently. I assume he's been staying here with you, since he's been working on the branch line more." Edward frowned. "That's the thing, Gordon. He hasn't. I've asked the station master, and he told me that during the evenings, he's been seen heading in the direction of the hill." Now, Gordon could understand. Boco hadn't been on Sodor too long, but had very quickly earned his respect. Why he seemingly didn't want to reside with the other engines on a regular basis made no sense. "Why would he do that?" he finally questioned. "He's one of us now, is he not? Most of us have been welcome to him." "I don't know," Edward said. "If you are able to find out where he's going, I would appreciate it." Gordon smiled. "Leave it to me, Edward. I'll see to it that Boco knows he has a home with us." And with a determined blast of his whistle, he puffed away. Edward watched on with much hope. Although having nothing to go off, Gordon already had a hunch on where Boco could be. The farthest part of the island, the other end of the main line. While very much on Sodor, the station, yards and town were split between the Fat Controller's railway and the other railway. It was done to allow better management of trains passing between the two, but also as an exchange for the island remaining independent from the larger rail network. Gordon came to a stop at the big station. A long, grimy diesel sat on the adjacent line. The big engine used to try and have a conversation with whoever took over the express. Often, though, he was met with insults or eerie silence. So he gave up, and the exchange of engines proceeded without a word. A little later, as he took on water, Gordon explained to his crew what Edward had said. "We'll have a look around," said the driver, "but we'll have to be careful. We are venturing onto another railway's territory, you know." Gordon sniffed. "For all their unappealing qualities, these diesels aren't stupid. They wouldn't dare do something to an express engine." Once his tank was full, he set off on his bold mission. The further Gordon went, the more claustrophobic he felt. Around him stood long sidings, packed full with trucks, coaches, and many diesels, all lined up and not making a single sound. Behind them, he could hear growling, buffers clashing together, and horns blaring. Clearly, the yards were still busy, but to Gordon, it felt like something more sinister was lurking around, hiding from plain sight, watching his every move. Eventually, he got to a more open area, and found a small diesel shunting some vans. It stopped when it saw Gordon and stared, as if a mythical creature had appeared in front of it.
"What do you want?"
it asked, in a quick, raspy voice. Gordon was rather unimpressed, but tried to keep his composure.
"I'm looking for another diesel here. Boco is his name."
The shunter said nothing for a long moment.
"Never heard of him. What sort of stupid name is that anyway?"
"Well, he's a metropolitan type," Gordon explained.
"We have several engines like that here. You have any idea how vague that is?"
"He's specifically green."
"Are you blind? Green diesels are pretty much everywhere here."
"Oh, forget it!" Gordon snapped, blowing off steam.
"Push off, will you? I'll find him on my own."
And with that, he snorted off, leaving the shunter quite speechless. Gordon was growing worried. He was once again in a cramped space between several sidings, which all blended together. It was like he was trapped in a loop, with no way of breaking out. Perhaps he shouldn't have been too confident when he assured Edward he could do this with ease. As he reconsidered turning back, he looked along the siding next to him. Ahead of a line of coaches and a few rotten vans, a diesel stood. One that, as the dim lights revealed, was green. Gordon wasted no time and hurried alongside. Sure enough, he found who he was looking for.
"Boco?"
he whispered. The big green diesel gazed at him in surprise. "Gordon? I didn't think you'd be here." Gordon looked him all over. While still mostly clean from all the polishing he got on the Fat Controller's railway, dirt was slowly beginning to creep back on.
"Oh, my dear engine," he cried. "What are you doing in a place like this?"
Boco simply blinked. "Why, this is my home."
"Your home? Your home is with us. You don't deserve to be shrouded in this cluttered misery."
"I'm not sure I understand." Gordon couldn't believe what he was hearing, but took a deep breath.
"What don't you understand, Boco?"
"I know I'm a part of your railway now, but I didn't think it appropriate to permanently reside with you engines. I know you've all had a shaky history with diesels, and I thought it best to only stay in your sheds when it was best convenient." Boco had grown more nervous when he spoke, as if he was confessing to a crime. It was unusual then to him, but Gordon didn't seem angry in the slightest. In fact, he looked more sympathetic and gentle.
"Boco, please listen to me," he finally replied. "You have nothing to be ashamed or afraid of. I won't deny our introduction to your kind was poor, and I apologize if I was rather judgmental for that alone. I can't speak for all of us, but I know to most of us you are accepted. You are indeed a fine and splendid engine, which I have seen firsthand. You are truly more than welcome to reside with us from now on."
Having heard all that, Boco smiled broadly. He instantly felt much better.
"Now please, come home with me," Gordon continued. "You can stay at Edward's shed tonight. He's been worried sick about you."
"Why, thank you," replied Boco. "That's very kind of you." With that, the two engines made their way out of the sidings. Boco, who knew the area well, had no trouble guiding Gordon to the station and on to the main line. Ever since that gloomy night, Boco has been more than comfortable staying with the Fat Controller's engines. Naturally, some were hesitant, but over time, they all grew to appreciate his company. As he mostly works on Edward's branch line, he often stays at his station, but he is welcome anywhere on the railway, for he knows that he is now one of the family. Sometimes, though, Boco thinks back to his old home, those long dirty sidings that he knows the other diesels linger in when their day's work is done. He hasn't heard from any of them lately, and wonders if they even remember him. As sad as that may be, he also took it as a sign that he was now somewhere where he truly belonged.